Jackie Blossoms, and I would love to introduce myself to you guys, tell you guys a little bit about myself, and I really do hope that you guys decide to join me in my journey and help me follow my dreams and help me make a difference in this world as well as in the foster youth community. I am currently 21 years old, and I am, currently a college student, and I am doing social media marketing, and I am currently working from home. However, although my life seems pretty stable right now, it wasn't always this way, System. I was in and out of the foster care system from ages about 9 to 13, and at 13 I got officially removed from my parents. I am Salvadorian, and so I grew up in El Salvador up till about the age of 7 years old. My mother, obviously came out here to the United States of America in order to, have a better life, and in order to give me and my siblings a better life also. However, things kind of went downhill when, your whole family suffers from trauma, and your whole family has been through, traumatic experience. All those things kind of reflected and fell back on us as children. I came out here when I was 6 years old, and I stayed in Houston, Texas for about a year. I do want to mention when I was in El Salvador as well as in Houston, Texas, I had a lot of my family members mentally, emotionally, sexually, and verbally abused me throughout, the first few years of my life. When I was 7 years old, I came out here and I met my mother. I thought it was going to be, an awesome experience. I met my mom. People won't be able to hurt me anymore. People won't make me feel like, I'm less of a person anymore. And so I was really looking forward to having that one special person in my life. And mind you, I never had my dad in my life. I never even met him. So that says a lot. Also, when I met my mom, however, she was with my stepdad. My stepdad was very supportive. He was awesome. I used to call him dad, and he was a very amazing person and very supportive until I started getting older. When I turned 14 years old, my stepdad tried to, be inappropriate with me and tell me inappropriate things and do inappropriate things to me. And so I knew, being 14, this is not okay, and it does not feel right. See, when I was in El Salvador and I was getting abused and I was 4 and 5 and 6, I didn't know any better. I didn't know right from wrong. However, once I hit 14 and I knew these things were never supposed to happen to me, I kind of, put up a wall. And I protected my feelings, I protected myself, I protected my body. With that being said, when my stepdad tried to be inappropriate with me, I immediately told my mother. I was already in and out of the foster care system, and at this time, I was living at my mother's house. This is when I decided to tell her, and she obviously didn't believe me, and she, she put hands on me, and she told me that all I wanted to do was to destroy her family, and that I was an angry, emotional little girl because I didn't have a father myself like my little sister did at that time. And so that really hurt my feelings. That night she ended up kicking me out and basically choosing him over me. I was already 14 at that time, and I was homeless. I was previously homeless for a few months, on and off. And so that's why I kept going in and out of the foster care system. I never had a family that supported me. I never really had friends that loved me. It seems like none of them really knew the meaning of friendship, It was very hard. Education was hard. Living in a whole different country was hard. Getting used to, the American language was very difficult. Getting bullied and then going home and telling my mother and her hitting me or, punishing me because she said, you're the issue, you're the problem. I should have left you where basically in El Salvador. It was very hurtful. When I became homeless at the age of 14, something made me refuse to go back home. I just knew that I don't know where I'm going. I don't know how I'm gonna get to where I'm going because I don't even have a destination. But however, I do know what I want. I want a better life. I want to be happy. I want to have a support system. I want to help other people because even since a young age, I figured out that, hey, when I try to help myself, I really don't know how to help myself. However, when I help other people, I feel this sense of happiness, this sense of fulfillment, and I just want to help people, and it makes me so happy. So now let me tell you a little bit about my experience in the foster care system. My experience in the foster care system was very tough, okay? At some point in my life, I wasn't only just in the foster care system, but I was also in the probation system. This means that yes, I was, at some point in my life in a juvenile hall, and then I went into, the foster care system to attain support. I think being in the foster care system really changed me a lot. It confused me into, believing that I was someone that I really wasn't. It confused me by putting labels on me. It confused me by making me think like I was less able to or not, or like I didn't have the capacity to do certain things. But that was never true, They didn't make that wall I already had come down and only made it go up, up, up. More and more and more until eventually I couldn't let no one in. My wall was so high up, I couldn't break that wall down to allow people to come in and provide me with their help and support. I was a very angry little girl. My anger issues was bad. I mean, very, very bad. I would get restrained almost about every other day, and I would get thrown into like this PS room, which is basically just a little room, and you're just there until you calm down. And if you're not calm, then you're not getting out. And sometimes it was tough because we don't have good relationships with the staff. So if the staff don't like you, you're gonna be stuck in this PS room until the staff says it's time for you to come out. I had a lot of unfair things happen to me and be done to me by staff in the foster care system, and I was always so shy. I was always so vulnerable, and I didn't even have the knowledge to speak up for myself. All my trauma, my PTSD, my anger issues, my trust issues, everything that I've been through in the foster care system, it kind of led me to get into very abusive relationships. It led me to rely on alcohol. It led me to, develop an eating disorder, become a drug addict at some point in my life. And it really messed up my character in many areas. It confused me. The foster care system confused me a lot. Instead of being hands-on and helping me get over my trauma, they kind of helped me mask it. They helped me mask my trauma by, providing me with a psychiatrist to do an evaluation. This psychiatrist basically asked me, how do you feel? And I said, well, I'm angry, okay? And all these things I just expressed, and from the simple things that I expressed in about less than 20 minutes, I was diagnosed 7 different things, After being diagnosed with those things, I had to obviously be put on medications. You would think medications would, really help, right? And, help with that chemical imbalance in your brain. However, medications actually altered my mind. Medications made me dependent on them, and so when I wasn't on medications, I was actually right back where I started. It eventually got down to the point that I started, experiencing and paranormal activities and saying things that weren't really there. And so I earned another label, schizophrenic. And mind you, I am not any of those things. However, it is the lack of, wanting to work with foster youth one-on-one, the lack of taking the time to get to know a foster youth, like, who are you? I wish someone would have really sat down with me and took the time to get to know me for me. Like, why are you like this? Why are you so angry? Why does this make you mad? Instead of, you're getting angry, I'm gonna just throw you in the PS room. Or you can't sleep at night, you're too hyperactive, you're saying things, let me send you to a psychiatrist so they can give you medications or diagnose you, I really wish someone would have took the time and cared for me and cared for, my mental health and my emotional state in a more careful way. Take a deeper look into it. It's not just about the attitude and the behavior. The reason why I used to act the way I acted was because I didn't have a way to release my energy. Your past does not determine your future. It does not matter what you went through. It does not matter what they did to you. And trust me, I get it. It's hard. It's hard for all of us, especially growing up in and out of the foster care system, because your past wants you to let it go. The reason why a lot of us continue being unhappy is because we continue to dwell on the past. Our past wants to be set free so bad. It's kind of like, that's where depression comes from, because you're holding on to something that doesn't want to be there anymore. And so I want to help foster youth learn how to break cycles. I want to help foster youth find resources. I want to help foster youth advocate for themselves. So I would love to provide different, skills and habits and information and resources, as well as support that will help you guys get through these type of things, You are not alone, and each one can teach one, for we are one.
I hold my head up just enough to see the sky.